Hello everyone, welcome back to the next episode of Waifu Wars. I'm your dickless shonen MC, Drooby-Doo.
And I'm here to challenge Subaru for the title of Lowlymancer, Sobroni.
Welcome back to the next episode of Waifu Wars podcast, where we talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the weeb, but not your waifu, because she is also dickless. Unless you're not into
so.
that. Hey.
Well, my waifu at least.
Hello. Looks at the Fuda tab, looks back at you. How you doing, Oni?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Drew?
I am also doing good. This new job is kicking my ass just a tiny little bit, but you know, I'm getting on by. Oh, by the way, did I send you the little poster for the?
Yes. It's on Thursday, right?
Yes, it is on Thursday at Shmur hours.
Cool.
I don't know why I'm like oddly like being secretive about it. I don't know, in the back of my mind I'm like, I'm gonna talk about my job a little too much, and then someone's gonna come and be like, "Hey Drew, give me ice cream."
Yeah, everyone's gonna show up. We're gonna raid your job. It's gonna be like Twitch raids, but
okay. I mean, as long as you raid and buy some ice cream, I wouldn't be mad at that. All right, let's get the show started as always with our new segment this week in anime. Oh gosh, where is my news? Very quickly, Windbreaker season 2 reveals game, more cast staff, and April debut in videos. So the Tofu Shopping District Halloween Festival event on Sunday revealed that season 2 is coming out on April 2025 for Windbreaker anime. We didn't cover it on the podcast, but I watched it by myself, and I feel like this is a somewhat popular anime for sure.
Windbreaker. I feel like I've heard of it.
Yes, it was. I'm not sure if it was last season or no, the season before. I think it was in spring. It was the one of the two shows about like high school boys being the shit out of each other.
It's not the one where they were taping it, right?
No, it's not the one that they were taping it.
Okay.
This is the one where it was pretty good action. I would say this one has the better action than the one where they were taping it.
Mm-hmm.
It has better action, and it's also like very wholesome.
It's a wholesome high school brawl anime.
It really is. Like, the characters are kind of endearing. This anime got me somehow, and this is like the opposite of what I really want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, season 2 is coming out. Right, I forgot they have what it looks like a tag queen at the school. I forgot.
Does she throw hands too?
Yes. They all fight. that is literally the shtick. They all fight.
That kind of sounds like there was this old martial arts anime. It was like, I think it was called Tenjo Tenge. It was basically that. It was like they were in a high school and everyone was just like a fucking martial artist. It was really cool, but
except this is less that, and that's why I kind of love the premise. It's like, even though they're at a school where they're supposed to be learning, they don't learn at all. And I don't know why no one is like drawing attention to this. I'm like, everyone's in the school, but they protect the town from other delinquents in general. And I'm just like, so no one's getting an education here?
Nope.
I feel like that's not how it's supposed to work. But I guess I'm just not supposed to think about it too much and just enjoy. And yeah, that's what I do. And it's been a good ride, so I'm really looking forward to season 2.
Cool.
Yep. All right, what do you got for me, Oni?
So, for those of you who have been away from the internet for the past couple of days and might not know, there was recently a gigantic Game Freak leak about Pokemon and a lot of Pokemon properties. I'm not going to talk about any of the actual, real stuff because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. However, there was one thing uncovered in the leak that was really, really interesting, and it's being memed up a lot on Twitter, which is there's some lore references to the Pokemon, to various Pokemon, I guess, that writers had used as like reference or whatever, like ideas. However, they're all very much written in the Greek mythology vein of writing, which is the nice way to put it, because they all read like insane guru fanfic.
Yeah.
like Typhlosion has been trending for like a day because his lore is essentially he gaslights this little girl into sleeping with him
What?
and then kidnaps her and drugs her that she's like constantly
What?
asleep. and then when her father tries to come save her, he goes to fight her father, and her father kills the Typhlosion, and the girl ends up having his baby.
What?
and Typhlosions are half human. That was the point of the myth, of the lore. It was supposed to say that Typhlosions are half human.
and that was the only way we could that get there.
The only way you can know. There was one particular. Some of the stories are just randomly stupid. Like the Lapras one is just some dude finds a Lapras, fucks it multiple times.
What?
Has a, like the Lapras one was like literally a paragraph long. Like one dude was walking along the beach. He found a Lapras and had relations with it. The next day he saw it again and had relations with it. Then the third day the Lapras was like, I'm pregnant, and when you come back tomorrow, you'll find your baby here. And then he came back the next day and he found his baby. So that, as far as these stories go, as insane as that
what the hell is going on in Game Freak?
No, the best one is Slacking, because one is just straight up someone was reading some hardcore shit. The Slacking one is like this girl and her group of friends run around abusing slack-offs. Like they find them and just rip their ears off, gouge out their eyes, stab them to death.
Christ.
Yeah, like literally that's what it says. They gouge out their eyes, rip off their ears, stab them in the chest. And then they just kind of like brutalize these slack-offs until one day, I think she like falls off a tree and like goes unconscious, and this Vigoroth finds her, and it was one of the slack-offs that like she mutilized, and he just like kidnaps her, and then like this Slacking just sexually assaults her, and she gives birth to the Slacking's child. Moral of the story is don't abuse slack-offs.
Okay, so these are not like actual official.
They're not official, but I mean they are on the Game Freak servers.
Oh, whoever is writing this really fucked up shit. And leaving it on the Game Freak servers is nuts. Why would you put it on the servers of the company?
I don't. As far as I know, this is not like some little thing that somebody left on their PC. This is like actual reference material on the game. Like, oh, we're project planning and we need to look up reference material for these Pokemon. Let's pull up the Typhlosion Diddy fanfic.
What? Oh no! Oh no! Please! Oh my god! Game Freak! What the hell? Why'd you have to start from Pokemon human breeding / sexual assault just to get it? Are they aware this is like a kids game? Are they aware? If this is the nasty shit that they have on their servers, we need the 18+ one now. And when I say 18+, I do not mean Dojin level or anyone having sex with any Pokemon or anything weird like Pokemon that. Game. I'm just saying something with a little bit more mature.
They team up with Power World and we get the more
like mature as in, oh my god, this Pokemon died when because Team Rocket clone killed it or something like something like that. Not bestiality.
I'll save the last one to be the most fun, family friendly one. But they uncovered like the character profiles for certain NPCs in the games, like some trainers, like Iris and all the Pokemon trainers. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently, all of them had really detailed, like, oh, Iris wears Middle Eastern clothing, and these are the reference materials for her dress, and like really in depth character profiles.
Okay.
And then they found Skyla's. Is it Skyla, the
Gym
gym
leader.
trainer?
Which.
Yeah, gym leader.
Mm-hmm.
And it just says "sexy Latina pilot" and modeled after Jennifer Lopez. So we have confirmation that Skylar is just a sexy Latina pilot that's meant to be modeled after Jennifer Lopez.
Like, wait, Sky, is this is the girl from Gen 5?
Yeah, the one with the flying gym, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, with
yeah,
the red hair.
Because Winona is Gen 3, so Skyla is Gen 5.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, looks nothing like J Lo. What the fuck? What does that even mean? Jeez Louise. Oh my god. Now I briefly skimmed through like the beginning of the article
Mm-hmm.
that Oni is referencing, and I did see some of the work in progress sprites for like Gen 3 to 5 games. That I
Mm-hmm.
did see. I didn't know what it was referencing to. I didn't connect the dots and think it was connected to the leak. Um but yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so
That's
people are just
insane.
having fun with this online. I don't think. I do think it's funny because more people are paying attention to this stuff than they are the actual real leaks that happened, like the real tangible. This game is coming out. Blah 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 blah. So this is kind of a funny turn of events.
Yeah, that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, I feel like people wrote their nasty ass fanfics and hid it in the Game Freak servers
Maybe.
because they're stupid. And honestly, if they get fired, I don't feel bad for them because like, what the fuck? Like, I'd be so embarrassed if I was Game Freak. I'd be mortified actually.
Apparently, it was all written by the same woman. So, yeah, could
What?
be. You could be onto something.
Yeah. So yeah, I think she just left it there,
She just
and
wrote the fanfic like, let me leave just on my server for the Pokemon Company.
she had to be because there's no like this is a kid's game. There's no other reason otherwise.
Well, there's no kids at the Game Freak office, you know.
Yeah, but they're all making games for kids. Like, what's the slacking R scene for? Like, who's that for? That's not for the kids.
That's for us.
That's for well, I guess it is now. Yeah, if I was them and it led back to her, I would fire her like
Mm.
immediately. I'm not saying I hope she gets fired, but like if that was my company, yeah, she'd be gone.
I'm sure they're doing some internal investigation immediately.
Hmm. All right. Well, now that I'm slightly traumatized, it's time to start our weekly reviews. And speaking of trauma, we're gonna
Yeah, I
start
got you in
off.
the mood to talk about ReZero.
Yes, ReZero season 3, episode 3,
Well, one and
2,
two.
1 and 2. Oh, right, I forgot 1 and 2.
It
um,
feels like episode 6, but one and two.
right. Seeing how the first episode was literally a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which, like, length aside, I wasn't mad at because they were just like for this whole movie, we're just gonna lay the foundation
Yeah,
of what's
it was
happening.
actually pretty good. I as much as I was like dreading watching it because I'm like, oh god, an hour and a half of ReZero. It turned out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed. Agreed. Um, God, they tackled like a lot. Um, let's see, something. Oh, so they're going to um Cristela for a party of sorts. Excuse me, invited by Anastasia. Um, Subaru's getting to shape. him and Beatrice, they're like really cute
I
now.
love their interactions together.
Yeah,
They're so adorable.
yeah, it's very wholesome. Ram got her little moment of shitting on Subaru. So, I'm like, she had a whole season.
She won't be in this season apparently, but yeah, she got
Yeah,
her
no.
moment.
She had her, listen, she had her season. Ram,
Yeah.
Ram was the only, in my opinion, like one of the best things about season 2.
She's one of the best things about the show in general.
Yeah.
She just walks up with all the lolies and she's just like, ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, she's like fucking nasty.
Pervert.
Love it. Oh, love her. Yeah, Rem's still in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
And the other candidates are, they kind of go a brief overview of the candidates for the selection.
Which I'm glad because it's been so long since the last season. That
Girl, I forgot Felt.
So
I forgot Felt was one of the
I
girls.
forgot everyone.
I forgot Felt even exists.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Crush.
Crush was the only one I know because she wasn't so prevalent in season 1, but the rest of them I didn't know about.
So we get to the town that is clearly heavily influenced by someone who's also isekai'd here, which is super interesting because I think this is like the first time I referenced someone else who's isekai'd to my memory.
It felt very Konosuba-esque, like. Which, by the way, can I just say I love this? Like, this is what I hated about season 2, so I'm glad they took away from went somewhere else in season 3. The village was so boring in season 2. It was just a snowy village. It felt like generic snow village. Yeah. This place feels awesome. It's like Venice mixed with Japan. It's really, really cool.
Agreed. And then they meet this songstress named Liliana. How do you feel about Liliana, honey?
I like her. She's really fun.
I agree. Excuse me. And then they get into like some what's the word I'm looking for?
Antics.
Not antics. There you go. I was saying semantics, and I was just like, like that's not quite the word.
Also, Subaru's a dick. Like, like as soon as he shows up, I'm like, oh, this song is trash.
Right. Yeah. Everyone's like, girl, excuse you. Lachins and Reinhardt are together. I wrote that down. Lachins is the dude to first kill Subaru in this world, which I find to be hilarious. And Garfield had some really weird moment where he would just like immediately tries to kill Reinhardt.
Yeah, like upon meeting him.
Yeah. And I guess maybe it's like animal instincts, or something like that.
He senses something on him.
See, and then we go into the butler, I forget what his name is for Crush. And they go into description, the little memories that. Or they kind of give us a refresh that, he was married to the sword saint who died to the whale. Yada, yada, yada.
That's what I liked about this episode is that it served as like a good refresher for the entire series.
And this this first episode, I think we had to see what Subaru really excels in, and
being a clown.
I mean, it's part of it, and because I think I made this note because I think before you were like, he's not good at anything, he's bad shit. He actually excels with like, he's good with social relationships. Like he's a very good socially, for the most part. And ultimately his social relations is how he ends up getting out of like all of his problems, like all the deaths. It's through his relations with other people. Because as you said, he can't. Like you said, he can't. It's not like he can fight and beat them
I
up.
don't know if that would call that a. He just has like a charismatic personality or like an attractive personality.
But no, I think he's also like that conversation where he's talking with the butler and trying
Yeah, like
to
he has
convince him to
good
be
dialogue sometimes with various people.
right. Like yes, there are sometimes where he's a clown, and even then, I can argue in certain scenarios, even that turns out, that turns to work in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's literally like the only thing he has going.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Fine, fair enough. He is good
um,
with people. He's a social
mm-hmm.
person.
Yeah. And so much so that the butler tries to attempt with his grandson, which is Reinhardt. We learn that they're connected. Uh, and he tries in a really cute way too. He's like, "Can you teach me how to make okonomiyaki?" Because he's burning it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just as he's about to, this asshole named Heinkel shows up, and Heinkel is uh the butler's son and Reinhardt's dad,
Mm-hmm.
who is clearly a dick.
Yeah, he
Um,
was a massive asshole.
yeah, and shout out to the ladies because all the ladies that all the ladies are like, "Excuse me, bitch, who the fuck are you?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you come from? You ain't shit. Go away."
So I gotta say, I love all of the princess candidates. Like they're all.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said Amelia is the only one I dislike, but after episode 2, I kind of like her now. But
Really?
listen,
That's
that's all I
crazy.
needed her to do was to do something to show that she's more than a pretty face who smiles and just agrees with everything.
I feel like I feel like you just missed like the last half of season 2. But okay,
I don't recall her doing
the
anything.
season 2 literally was all about her not being a puss asshole.
I distinctly remember her being a puss asshole. Outside of the timelines where they failed and she turned into a yandere, or where they were doing her backstory when she was a loli. Either way, I love Felt. I love Krush. I love Anastasia. I love
Priscilla.
Priscilla. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
Gilgamesh but female.
literally. and and there was a moment where she was talking so much, and then she does something, and I'm just like, oh, I forgot Priscilla can actually fight.
Oh yeah, when she turns her fan into a giant ass sword,
And
buster
about
sword.
to right, and about to just cut the guy into it, and then her knight is like, hey, stop it.
Yeah, I realize now why people like Gil. I was like, I don't understand the appeal of Gil. Why do girls love Gil so much? And I'm like, oh, this is why. Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
well,
Understood.
someone who doesn't care for Gil or Priscilla. Um, yeah, and I like Priscilla more than Gil because I don't know. I think Gil is still shittier than Priscilla, not by much.
Well, Gil is shittier in that he goes out of his way to cause like immense misery to people, whereas Priscilla is just
Yes.
kind of
And
bitchy.
yeah, she's just kind of bitchy. Gil would just be like, I'm gonna kill you." Like,
Yeah, Gil would show up and just like behead the old man or something. Be like, "Ah, your grandfather died the moment he tried to connect with you. Isn't that crazy?"
yeah. That's so funny you said that because I literally wrote in my notes she's giving female Gil.
Mm-hmm. It was the line where she goes like, "Oh, everything in the world is mine."
Mine, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yep. Um, the witch. Oh yeah, so the witch cult finally appeared at the end of episode 1. And yeah, it's just everyone had go popping off. Everyone literally popped off.
I love. Yeah, they're all popping off. I love this one. This witch cultist or whatever, archbishop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. ReZero does really good crazy villains. Like you would think that someone like this would get on my nerves because they're just so. All the ReZero villains are just loud and screamy and
Mm-hmm.
crazy, but it works somehow.
Yeah, they well, I wouldn't say all of them
Like,
because
what's his name? Beetlejuice in the first season, or Petaljuice,
yeah,
whatever.
both the guys.
Beltagate, whatever. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice in the first season.
And then both guys appear and just kills you.
Yeah. He was just like a crazy fucking. I think wasn't he played by the guy who voiced Caster and Zero?
I
Bourei?
believe
I think he was.
so.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
basically
that
Caster.
right. They sounded almost exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. And this crazy
Okay.
bitch is just like
Yeah.
I gotta look up her voice actor because she's
Yeah,
also
she's
so
just
good.
like she's just like the female version of him
Mm-hmm.
essentially. But yeah, that's how episode 1 ends. Episode 2, on the other hand, as soon as I can find it, I don't know where. Okay, here we go. So episode 2 is really Subaru kind of just going on a running start, and he tries to save the kid and immediately fucks up in like a very horrible way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just like, oh, that was a pretty gnarly death.
How did
Like
he die?
Jesus.
Was it when he got? Yeah, he got like hung, right?
Yeah, he
The
got
yeah.
hung, but like when he tried to like I don't know, like catch it to like save his own throat or something, like the chain because it had spikes like tightened and just like cut off all his fingers. Like that was insane.
Yeah, he Subaru does die in some very creatively fun ways.
And then he's like, okay, well, I can do this by myself. Time to get into reinforcements. Let me call in Reinhardt. And it's all great for a second until I guess it comes down to more of a standing of her ability where she has ability that everyone gets to like share the same, I guess, feelings, sensations to the point that it's like a pain transference ability.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think they had this in like even like fairy tale. Well, they have it in like multiple shows, but like on like in a very busted way. Cause it's not just like oh whatever pain she feels, everyone else feels. It's like she can do it to whomever. Like she can make, for example, she can make Oni feel me getting stabbed, or she can make Oni feel like, or she can make me feel Oni getting stabbed, or if she wanted, she can like stab herself and we both feel it.
It's a really broken ability that
Yeah,
I'm not sure what it has to do with wrath per se, but I like it.
me too. I'm glad I was the only one who thought that, but yeah, it's pretty insane. And we find out that yeah, they can also affect her as well because when Reinhardt beheads her, everyone else gets beheaded. So yeah, it, whatever happens to them, whatever happens to whoever she, yeah, it's like whatever she does to something or to herself, she can have it happen to whomever she
To
wants.
everyone's, yeah. Also, side note, this isn't relevant to this discussion necessarily, but
Mm-hmm.
I looked up her voice actor because I love
Yeah.
the yelling. She's she doesn't have many roles, but she is the main girl in Kuzu no Honkai. So now I'm just imagining Kuzu no Honkai with this crazy bitch in there.
That is so funny because that and they're very different characters.
Yeah, they're insanely different.
Very, very different. The other girl, she's way low key. Very
Mm-hmm.
fucked. Almost equal levels of fucked up, but very
But
low key.
very on a different side of the fucked up spectrum.
Yes. Huh. So in this last, so the third, so she basically he dies the second time. The third time, um, he tries to get Betty to come along and help him, and Amelia overhears them. She's like, "I'm gonna help," and he's like, "No, you can't help, and you gotta be safe." Cause da 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 da. And Amelia, she's new bad bitch Amelia, and
Yes, she grew a spine
she's
and a
like,
personality.
"Girl, I'm not." It's like, "Girl, I'm not. I'm gonna fight because I want to." So shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see a really, really awesome cutscene. I mean, cutscene, really awesome fight scene between Amelia and Archbishop of Wrath. And for whatever reason, Wrath really doesn't like Amelia. I guess because she smells the the witch of
The witch. Yeah.
greed on her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that doesn't make her happy. So, so yeah, and then they fight. Miss Wrath, she kind of turns up, almost kills Amelia, but Greed, the Archbishop of Greed, actually saves Amelia and claims that he will take her as his 79th wife.
I hope he fights using his other 78 wives. Like his other 78 wives just pull up like an army or something.
just wail on her.
Just beat the shit out of Subaru.
Oh, well. Oh, I was thinking the Archbishop. I don't think he needs them all to beat Subaru. I think he can probably kill her.
It would just be funny.
You just see him just getting pummeled to death, and then you hear the the little noise after he like resets.
So my feelings on this season in particular, I've really enjoyed it so far because I think it fixes everything that was wrong with season 2. That being that season 2 was way too focused on just Amelia and Subaru, and it took place in a really shitty setting. This one is a really good setting, and it has like the entire cast of every ReZero, like everyone is here. This is like the Smash Bros. Ultimate of ReZero seasons.
Yes.
So I like that a lot. The only issue I have is I need Subaru to do something. I'm begging you, please. Like, I get the point is that he's a loser or what. He needs.
Oh my god! Damn,
something.
not a loser. Not he's like trying.
He's not like. What does he do?
He's trying to save the kid.
Yeah, but he's so weak and he can't do anything. Can he please develop some kind of skill set that helps him fight or something?
I will say, it is crazy that 3 seasons in, and he has like absolutely zero fighting capabilities.
Like his only ability is I gotta find people to call for help.
and Shamak. Yeah,
like I'm not saying he has to be the Kirito of the world or whatever, but he needs to at least have a way of defending himself or something.
But it also doesn't help that like the majority of people that he fights are like just happen to be able to kill like most people in this world.
Yeah. Or at least, like, you know what would be cool if he was just smarter? Because I feel like a lot of the things he does is just trial and error. Like, he's just like, oh, fuck that up. All right, let me try this now. Oh, fuck that up. Let me try this now. It's not very informed.
Well, I feel like it's easy to say that from our standpoint, but keep in mind, he literally the best way you can make a good decision is through information. If you have no information, it's like yeah, it has to be trial and error. Like, what else can you do?
Yeah, but it's always going to be trial and error, even when he has.
But that's what everybody. But that's what anyone.
No, it's not. It'd be like, all right, so like, imagine Lelouch had this ability and he was here. He would at some point be able to outsmart the opponent and do something interesting.
At some point, but he would definitely die a few times.
He would die a few times, but then eventually be able to take charge and be like, okay, I know what's going to happen.
Okay, yeah, Subaru's going to take a little bit longer than Lelouch, but the point is that everyone would have to go through the same process. Just some people would take longer than others. If anything, maybe I would argue maybe Lelouch should die. Lelouch should probably die even more just so he can be like, I need to test out the full capabilities of her abilities. So
but that would be cool because then that would be like a proactive way of using your powers. I feel like Subaru it's just his approach. Yeah. His approach bothers me. It just really feels.
But it's like I don't know. It's flip
not,
shot
it's
because
sensible.
It's flip shot because he can't do any. Like, okay, what would you do if you were Subaru?
Try to do.
What would you do?
I would learn some form of magic or sword fighting or something to defend myself with, and I would try to use my ability proactively.
Okay, in this case scenario, what would you do if you were him going up against this Archbishop of Wrath? What would be the key for you? And obviously you have to assume that you cannot beat her in a one-on-one fight. even if you learned your sword and whatever. Like your strength is not supernatural.
Yeah, no, I'd probably grab. I don't know. It depends. I'm not saying I'm a superhero. I'm just saying I want something more proactive from Subaru.
I'm just saying that's crazy.
They wrote the scenario. I don't know. Make him do something. Make him more interesting than just like, oh, I called for help from this guy. It didn't work, so now I'm going to call for help from that guy. Oh, that worked.
All right.
Because I feel like Subaru's not the hero of the story. It's everyone Subaru calls for help is the hero of the story.
I mean, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that frame of thought.
Then why do I give a shit about Subaru? Why is he here?
He's
why
here
isn't the story about Reinhardt?
Because he ultimately is the reason why we get the good ending at the end of the day. Even though he's not the one killing the bad guy, but he is ultimately the reason why it happened.
I just feel like everyone else is more interesting of a character than Subaru is, and he's the main character. So I'm just like, I can't relate to him and his, I don't know, issues. I want a more interesting main character. Make Reinhardt a main character, please. Thank you. The only time I like Subaru is when he's fucking around with Beiko.
All right. Let's move on to Dandadan, episode 2. Episode of the week, yay, nay?
Ooh, man. Ooh. Yeah, this episode of the week. It's close to another show, but yeah, this was great.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I wonder, I feel like I kind of want to guess with the other two, but we'll get there when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's gonna be my episode of the week as well. Things I liked, the art direction, especially in the first part, was so cool. Like the way they just like finally just like, I don't know, did like just like random like black out the whole screen, but box in just one frame of them, and then just keep kind of rearranging the art in that way. I really liked that in the beginning. That was really cool.
Yeah, they did a lot of really interesting art direction things.
Mm-hmm.
Making the letter, the fight, like gray, black and white.
Mm-hmm. Really that was very cool as well. And yeah, the episode was just very fun. They're so like they're so cute.
Yeah, they're just fun to watch. Like even if it wasn't with the action and stuff, I would just enjoy watching them and their interactions with each other.
Agreed. And then on top of it, the fighting is also just actually really cool.
The fighting is just really well done and choreographed and animated.
Mm-hmm.
And again, very, very Fooly Cooly feel to the whole, just everything about it.
Like, this makes me, in my back of my mind, this makes me want to, like, makes me ask myself, do I want to watch Fooly Cooly? The only reason why I don't is because I know it's not going to give me this.
No, it's not like this. And this is when I say Fooly Cooly, I just mean more in like the concept.
The concept.
Boy, girl has like crazy power. Boy has crazy power. Yeah.
I know I will be disappointed. I know I will.
Fooly Cooly is one of those things that's more style over substance.
Yes. Because growing up, when everyone talks about Fooly Cooly, they're just like, wow, Fooly Cooly's cool because it's fucking weird. Like that was it.
Pretty much.
That's all anyone said when
really
I was in middle school.
And colorful, and it feels like you're high when you're watching it. That's that. And yet, I'm sure there's like a metaphor there for like coming of age or whatever. But it's like, it's not as fun as Dandadan.
But yeah, and then we found out some interesting things. Apparently, there might be a correlation between spirits and aliens. One might be mistaken for the other, but yet they're, to a certain extent, they have like potentially have the same weaknesses or overlapping weaknesses. Because the alien came out of nowhere being like, "I want your banana," which I'm like, he already doesn't have a dick, so I don't know where we go from there. Excuse me. But then that alien was banished or killed or whatever once they Which one calls it? Once they got the seal back on the shrine. So the fact that a seal can work on aliens, it's like,
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting lore implications about the connection between aliens and evil spirits.
yeah, so they really kind of like burst open that bag this episode. So I'm yeah, I'm surprisingly more interested in the lore than over everything else.
Yeah, I also got to say that it it is kind of funny how much they abuse these kids. Like these, I don't know who has it worse. What's his name? What are they calling him?
Okarun.
Okarun. Okarun was burned, thrown
No,
in the bleed.
Okarun
Like he
still
was
has it
thrown on
worse.
his.
He
You think so?
yes.
I mean, he had it bad, but then Momo just
Yes.
got pummeled into a wall like
I
a
think
hundred
she
times.
I think she just used her like psychic
Ability.
barrier to like shield herself.
Okay.
There's no way she took those direct punches. Meanwhile, homeboy gets slapped once and he's like dead. Nah, she definitely like put a barrier. Because for a second I was like, no, why is she not like bleeding and busted up? Is this some kind of sexism shit? But then I was like, nah, she probably just used her psychic barrier, her psychic abilities to do like a barrier or some shit.
Because it is interesting that this was this was a straight up continuous episode from episode 1, in that they didn't go to sleep or anything. So it's like I feel bad. Like they stayed up for a whole day and a half, fought 2 big battles, got fucked up multiple times. Like they've been through it.
Yeah, and it's not even over because at the end, homegirl passed out and Okarun turned to a spirit who's about to like I don't know eat her.
Mm-hmm.
But I just assumed that the grandma's gonna save her.
Yeah, I'm sure the grandma's gonna show up and be like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Also,
his new form is really, it's really cool. It's very hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just talks all like super depressed and with like some weird accent, and it is very fucking strong. Yeah.
This was a very fun show. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Agreed. All right. Up next, we have Mao 2099. Episode 1. So we got some pretty good animation right off the bat. When they're kind of doing the narrator's talking about, I guess he's setting up the world for the anime, and let me tell you, when I saw this animation, I was like, I wish another anime were covering just to have a crumb of this, just a crumb, just a crumb.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
I'm talking about Puniru. But yeah, so very interesting. Earth fused into this world that they were fighting on, and then basically they start combining like human technology with magic, essentially. Now we have Magitech, and
which is an interesting concept. I like this fusion of like fantasy and cyberpunk.
Same. Also, this hacker girl, who momentarily just hacked everything just to play gay porn. Kind of great. That was gay porn, right? Like I only heard male voices. I only heard men voices. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait for the DVD to drop the uncensored version.
And then she's so obnoxious the way she's like trying to bullshit her way into like justifying her just kind of dicking around. She's like, I don't like this company, so I'm just gonna fuck with them.
I'm taking it to the man.
Yeah, I'm just like, girl, you're just taking a piss.
Also, I love the character designs in the show. Like everyone looks really fucking cool. I'm sorry. The girls are really cute. All of them. The guys, the dude and the Marcus, I fucking love his design. He looks straight out of fucking hell.
Also, I love that his name is Marcus.
Yeah. I'm Marcus.
Yeah, the girl who who's just, I don't know, call her Ilya. I forgot what her name is.
Oh, I forget her name too, but I like her.
Um, Machina.
Machina, yeah.
Yeah, love her fit. She looked really good.
There's a cute hat.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so in episode 1, we learned that Marcus kind of quit working for him because they were saying like, oh, he betrayed me. I'm like, is it betrayal if you die?
Yeah, like, what, you want me to stay I guess Machina would say, yeah, you're supposed to stay loyal to them forever.
To him
But
until
this guy was
until
just like,
you
nah,
resurrect
fuck
him,
that.
yeah. And
I
then
got
it
my own
wasn't.
life.
It was. I will say it's kind of disappointing that Marcus was like, he just straight up was just like, oh, I just always hated you, and that's it. As opposed to like, oh, just over time, I just had to do what I had to do, and I don't want to work for you anymore. He was just like, nah, I hated you. Bye.
It is less interesting, but I'll give it a pass because I like him a lot. So, right, fair enough. I also love his secretary. That's just like obsessed with a little mascot thing.
Yes, I love her. Love her. He's like, oh, I have more notes about the mascot. And he's like, can submit the notes for a meeting. And yeah, so he has this new tech, this new fucking Ghost in the Shell ass tech that's like, ha, I can do magic faster than you. That makes Marcus, not Marcus, excuse me, makes Veltol, yeah, Veltol, yeah, essentially outdated.
Yeah, he's old and busted. Marcus is the new hotness.
Yeah, I guess so. And then the scene where they went back to Machina's house and he's like, that's funny. Like, why are we here in the storeroom? She's like, this is where I live.
And then I got really strong Devil as a part-timer vibes from this, but like the good part of Devil as a part-timer.
Yeah. And then that last scene when she like holds her and then he's like, you know, you did. He's like, wow, to lower yourself so far just to wait for me. I was just like, oh, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's an interesting character too. He's not so arrogant and prideful like they usually do. Like he has a lot of humility and humanity to him.
Well,
for the most part, like he's really
because even after, like, he has a good streak of arrogance. Because even after getting his ass blown out the window by Marcus, he after landing garbage, or he bumps into someone and then curses at them, and then they all just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, like random thugs are stronger than him.
Right. So yeah, I guess he has to take a huge piece of humble pie.
Yeah. At least he wasn't mad at Machina, like, why didn't you tell me? I was expecting that. I was expecting like the cliche, him being mad at Machina for not telling him, than like him.
Yeah, he's less of an asshole. Yeah, looking forward to see how he's gonna adjust this new life, the cyberpunk attack. All right, next let's move on to my wife is an elementary school student person thing. Yeah, I pretty much got it. Anyways, episode 3. Episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3. How do you fall on this whole?
This is fucking weird. This is really weird. I'm like, I'm literally watching this, and I'm that one meme. Oh, it's getting weird. Like, because it's like it started out fine, with my, she's like, oh my god, haha, I have a new job. I have to go out somewhere and teach this dude how to use computers. I thought of you immediately, and I'm just like, is this Oni? Is this what Oni does? Is the pain of being a Oni? Yeah, especially when she was like, oh, he looked like he was angry and didn't learn anything I taught him. I was like, is that how he feels?
Yeah, I would totally not do that job. I'd be like, all right, I'm out of here.
shout out to Kikuchi for being a good wingman.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, that's my Moria's girlfriend. And Moria is the girl who works with Keisuke or Nijima. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't know why I feel
actually gotta
weird.
look up their names because going from fucking Machina and Veltaz and all to regular Japanese names fucks with my mind.
Yeah, I'm just so used to calling him Nijima, so I'm like calling him Keisuke. It sounds weird. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe only your wife child should
Your
call you
child
that.
wife.
Your child wife. By the way, I sometimes I feel like it's only a matter of time before the cops are just gonna arrest him because he keeps
Yeah.
saying this crazy shit out loud. Because
Oh,
like
God, I
like,
hated. I hated that where he
like
just
I
is so unself-aware.
like right. It's just like, can you just stop being fucking weird for 5 seconds? Like when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to her, like I know this is a weird situation, but you literally make it 50 times worse with your lack of awareness.
Yeah, he's just literally like, "Oh, so that's my wife." Points to 12-year-old.
Right, like no, yeah. Oh, we do know each other. We know each other for 30
For 30
years.
years,
Like,
yeah.
stupid bitch. Like, she wasn't even alive for 10 of those years. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. So, and while he's over here, like basically telling everyone that he's in love with this 12-year-old girl, then we have his arrested in development ass daughter
Mm-hmm.
who like flips out like after he catches a girl. Like you would think like he caught her he caught sorry he she caught him trying to like fondle Moria like during the fireworks or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. But it's like super weird because I keep forgetting she's not in like high school.
Exactly, she's a grown ass
She's a
woman.
grown woman with a job and everything. I'm like, she's
Girl,
like in
if
her 30s or late 20s.
oh
I'm like,
yeah, she's in her
20s.
20s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's so
probably
yeah.
her
No,
mid 20s.
you
And
should
I'm
not care that
yeah, like
much.
that's like if your dad wants to be with someone, that's I'm not saying it's none of your business, but like
But like, it's not. It shouldn't be. You're not. It's not that. You're not that involved in this decision at this point.
right.
You know
And
what
then
I
she's
mean?
like, no, and she's like, no, it's weird that you're friends with an
Lock
older
myself
person.
in my room because you were friends with a coworker.
Worker, even though you're explaining that nothing happened. No, that's weird, and I'm upset about it. And I'm like, that's so fucking strange, girl. You are strange for that. You really should not be that upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you realize that doesn't affect. Like you realize your mom's still 12, right?
I
Like
wanted you to be together like a family. Bitch, she's still
they
12.
can't. That's not happening. It will never happen. This thing where y'all are just hanging out in, moments where your mom's mom is neglecting your mother. It just isn't there. That's what's happening right now. You
This
guys
show is,
aren't.
as the kids would say, is filled with problematic elements.
It is so fucking strange, bro. This is so weird. When they took out the fake wedding form, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I said, "Oh, this is weird."
You know, Moria is gonna find that shit and be like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?"
Hey, at least, you know, it's so crazy that the only person here that's confident is literally the mom who's 12 years old. 12-year-old mom. She's the only one who is like, you know, keeping her emotions in check and minding her P's and Q's.
Mm-hmm.
So these two dodo brains are just like, y'all were this like. It's like I'm not trying to discount grief by any means, but like, there's grief, and then there's just like, then there's this.
Yeah, there's like obsession and not moving on with your life.
Yeah, this is like, This is like very like this is very unhealthy. It would get to a point where I'm just like, as if I was a mother, I'd be like, I feel like I need to actually set you up with another woman that's
Yeah,
not
I was gonna
me.
say I kind of hope this takes to the
And I
direction
think
where
she
he
was doing. And
gets
I
with
think
the
she
other
was trying
girl.
to. I think she was trying to do that too.
Yeah, because it's weird to be obsessed with her as a 12-year-old. You know what's gonna happen? I get the sense that this is gonna be one of those things where it's like, instead of picking, getting with Moria, who's like there would be the logical choice to do, he's gonna be like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm gonna stay with my 12-year-old wife until she's old enough to remarry me, and that's gonna be the ending of the series.
I
And I don't know how I feel about that because that feels like that sends the really bad message.
that is that'd be so incredibly inappropriate, and I hope they would never do something
Because
so
the whole point
crazy.
should be moving on from grief
Right,
and loss, right? Like that should be the theme.
right. And I feel like we're gonna get to that at some point. But I guess they're just like, here's the episode just to show how really fucked up they are.
Uh,
Like, when she was talking to Mai, she's like, yeah, like, I expect him to, like, move on and get ready to someone else. Mai looked at her like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. Are you saying someone else that isn't my 12-year-old mom is gonna fuck my dad? Like, girl, what? What? Oh my gosh. That, yeah.
there needs to be a therapy session.
This is insane. I feel like I need to tell my friends who are like really into like the psychology of shit. I need to tell. Actually, I need to write that down. I need to tell a couple about this. Mm, mm, okay, let's put that on my to-do list because I'm like, he actually would be like really interested in how crazy this is. Oh, but yeah, what an anime! I can't wait. Like this, I literally was watching this. Like this is the last show I had to watch, thinking this is gonna be like chill, whatever, family vibes.
Mm.
And then it took this very weird twist, and I was not prepared.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to um Nakageki no Bourei wa Intai Shitai. Episode 3.
You're...
Um, this was just This is just like the team. You know, they work well together. Yay, this is fine until the actual difficulty
The
reveals
boss shows
itself.
up. The bosses.
The bosses, they're like, we killed this one giant wolf thing. Woo, that was tough. And then they're like, okay, there's actually like 5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And
one of them has a fucking Gatling gun.
that was insane. I'm surprised it didn't shoot anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And of course Gilbert's the one who fucks up.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, oh my god, time to leave, and Gilbert's like, nah, and then he gets smacked and almost dies. Also, I love once Cry makes the appearance, or makes his own appearance. Like even the wolves are kind of like afraid of him.
Yeah, because they're
just,
like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Right, even though he doesn't really do anything.
No, I love when he did the shooting attack and like did all these explosions and shit.
And then the wolf just kind of like, oh.
Yeah. He's like, oh well, it's really weak. It just looks really flashy. Tino doing the whole like, do you think he assembled us by accident? No.
No, here's why, and goes up. And the last girl asks her, she's like, why me? And she's like, you got big titties.
Yeah, clearly.
Like Tino's blind faith in him is insane. Like she literally refers to him as a god multiple times. Even though he literally cannot even run. He can't even outrun them. He's so out of shape.
Tino's like limping with one leg
in front of them. And he's like, no, Master is slowing. Genzi is slowing down to match our pace. He doesn't want to run that far ahead of us. And then he's like, "Actually, I'm winded."
Yeah, can we stop soon?
Yeah, and the episode kind of ends with just him being like, "So I don't have no idea what to do. Don't really plan to rescue anyone. I just want to learn. I just want to know where I am and get the fuck out."
Yeah.
But of course, they're going to just probably stumble upon the kidnapped people, stumble into a fight, stumble out of the fight successfully somehow, and then keep moving.
Most likely. I am interested to see. I actually want to see more of the original group, like the
Me too.
teammates, because they look really fun. Like they have little segments here and there where they like go to flashbacks. I just want to see some of their interactions some more.
And it's interesting because, like, in the photo, you see the main, like, his old group.
Mm-hmm.
So, when they're gonna come out, it's his own group, and then I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll see. Yeah. All right. Up next, we have Puniru wa Kawaii Slime, episode 2. Now, was this your potential?
Yes, this was the
Yeah,
potential.
yeah, I know you.
I told you that bitch was crazy.
You
called it.
You sure did. And I, I feel like calling her a lolicon wouldn't do her justice. Maybe if you called her like a babycon.
Yeah, she's really into the. I love how the episode opens. They're like, "Oh, what's your type?" And she's just like, "I really love kids." Like 20 red flags go up.
I was like, huh? Yeah, that was interesting. Also, Kotaro is such an asshole to her.
He is.
Louise, like I'm all for cussing out like kind of annoying characters like Puniru.
Mm.
Especially when they have like no self awareness and do crazy shit. Like I don't know, selling her merch, which includes pieces of her own body. That was so insane. Where she's like taking her own finger and touching her own finger that Nanba bought.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if it works.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that scene where uh mommy just grabs her. Like, why did she like just take a fistful of her ass like that? Like, oh my god. I was like, is this sexual? I'm like, I can't tell. I don't know what's happening. I don't think so, but
the first part of the episode, it like opens up with like her bringing a child back to the mom, and the child is like fucking trauma eyes.
Right. He's like, hey, oh my god, I'm so glad you're back, and she's like, oh my god, no. Keep me away from her.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's unhinged. The whole like hana, 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 hana.
Oh no. And speaking of unhinged, we have a new character, which is a scientist. That scientist who was kicked out of an evil, or not evil, sorry, I kicked out of an organization for smart people because he did not pay his member dues. I love how they kept doing flashbacks to it.
Yeah, people were like, "Why didn't you just pay your membership fee?"
And then it ends, and then Puniru asks the same question.
Yeah.
And you know what the gag is? The whole point where shit goes left technically had nothing to do with the scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was all her. She just drinks some random metal shavings and then eats a magnet.
The magnet, yeah. It's so random. She straight up looked like a Digimon, by the way, in her evil form. That was just Digimon all over it.
It really was. And I love how her evil version of her just pulling pranks at the school.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the guy's like, "No, do evil," like clearly he wants her to like I don't know, destroy the world
like,
or some
yeah,
shit,
kill someone or something.
right? And then she just smacks him away like Team Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just unleash mommy on her. Mommy has full entourage, she's flying everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
just going crazy. Oh my gosh.
I'm kind of
Like,
liking this cast.
mm-hmm.
They're introducing a lot of really fun. Like even the blonde dude is kind of funny
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, I love Don. Yeah, I love Don, but he's just like
He's just so oblivious and just like I just want to play with toys.
right. Like he's supposed to look like the whatchamacallit, it, like the playboy
Mm-hmm.
or like the quote unquote hot guy, the popular guy, and he's just like, nope, I just like playing with shit.
Yep.
So I like that juxtaposition of him. And yeah, I also like all the characters, even though I feel like Kotaro, because you know, stand to be a little nice. Just be nice to her when she's not being like obnoxious as hell. I know that's
Mm.
only like literally half the time, but it's like he's a dick to her all the time.
Yeah,
Like
I
she'll be
feel like he's a
like,
dick
"Oh
when
my
she's just chilling.
god!" She's like, "Hey, what's up, everybody? Shut the fuck up, you loud annoying bitch! Get out of here,
I don't want to
stupid
see you
asshole,
again.
dumbass slime bitch!" Like, oh my god, relax. Oh yeah, this is very interesting anime so far.
It's funny because sometimes I can't even tell. I'm like, is this supposed to be a kid show? And then some unhinged shit happens. I'm like, nope, it's not.
Yup, sure isn't. All right, and I think last but not least,
So we do have one other show, but it's
oh
not
right, it's
showing.
not on. God, why does it always happen? We saw it. No, we literally saw it when we were reading through it. That's why we picked. So why is it
Yeah, it
not?
was there the first time.
They just love fucking with us. I'm
Yeah,
convinced.
it's some weird shit that they do. Like they watch the
Like,
pod. I think they watch it and they're like, yeah, pick one random show they watch.
yeah, they're like, "How dare you? This'll tell you. This'll teach you to make fun of my writing. I put a lot of time in these synopses,
Yeah, for real though.
bitch." God. All right. So, oh yes, Notorious Talker, episode 2. I would read the whole title, but it's not in front of my face, so I'm just calling it Notorious Talker. I forgot I actually fucked with this episode. Um. So yeah, Noelle was like, "I'm not gonna chase them." First of all, Noelle is kind of like this episode made me like him a lot because it's giving Lelouch.
Slightly eviler Lelouch, I feel like.
Uh, I would say Lelouch season 2.
Maybe. I don't know. Lelouch never sold people into slavery.
I mean, well, it's because the 11 started out as slaves. I feel like that'd be a little progressy. Because you're right, a little hypocritical. This whole thing was to like free the slaves. However, that is not Noel's problem. That's not Noel's problem nor his fight. Because these motherfuckers went into yeah, finding out the real reason why they took their money was insane. Like it was just all insane. Like it was just like it just kept escalating, which is why I actually really like this episode. This was like this. I think this would have been my episode of the week if it wasn't for Dandadan. And mind you, Christ, Walter was such a pussy, like low key.
I love that twist that he seems like the tough guy, but then when the shit hit the fan, he was like, "Oh, what are we doing?"
Right, like immediately he started from the not shit hit the fan from the beginning of episode. In the beginning, he was like, "Oh, we're not gonna. What are we gonna do when we find them? We're not gonna just kill them, right?" And I'm just like, I'm totally okay with killing people who stole that much money from me. 1,000%. I don't know
Especially
about y'all.
To gamble, like you wasn't even to like, oh, we had to save a family member or something.
Right, gamble all their money, and then I don't think I would have killed them. It was the only thing that would actually make me kill them is when Lloyd had the nerve to try and deflect blame. That's when, and when I tell you, I literally like clapped when Noah just started beating the shit out of him. I was like, yes, because that's exactly what I would do. The time of talk would be over. I'm literally just beating yo ass. Cause like, how dare, like, oh, like the nerve.
Mm-hmm.
Gambled it away and trying to make some excuses. Like, damn, like you got caught. Don't be an asshole about like what? Ugh. And then the gag is that Tanya also was gambling. Tanya was actually worse. Also, Noelle, speaking of Lelouch, I guess they are similar in the fact that neither of their powers are like help them in combat, but they're in other ways they're very overpowered.
I mean, he almost literally had a Gias when he was
Right,
like,
basically when he's like, "Tell me the truth." Right,
Yeah.
that was like he basically just used the Gias. I didn't know like the talker. I thought talkers were just like, "I buff your stuff and whatever," but no, he used his voice to stop them in their tracks.
Mm-hmm.
He used their voice as like truth serum. I'm like, your ability is actually incredibly
Yeah, I'm like, what do you
busted.
mean this is the weakest power? Like,
the weakest class.
OP as hell.
Right. I was like, talker class is kind of busted.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh my god, as if the episode couldn't get any better, we get introduced to a character named Pinocchio, which is just this very flamboyant, gay ass mafioso with with his bodyguards who are just dressed like Bada Go-Go boys. Like I was like, this is great. Love this. Love this. And then they just negotiate selling the two as slaves.
Yeah.
Yep. And while they're doing negotiations, the other dude's like, "Duh, give me my money, da. I want my money, da 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 da." And then Noah just beats the shit out of him, and he's like, "You'll get your money when I have it, bitch." And I'm just like, I know that's right, Noel. I know that is right.
Oh, God. I loved his little talk back to it. As soon as he paid him, he's like, "Aren't you glad you were patient and waited for me to pay you?"
Like, I love it. Like
just sassy.
It's so very sassy. Oh God, love Noel. Love him. Also, the Tanya. Tanya's crazy face was insane.
Yeah.
That was insane. Like the shadowing they did on her eyes just made it like elevated that level of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That was nuts. Oh my gosh. I feel like I have to like find it and screenshot it. That was so insane.
Oh yes, please say I can add it as the thumbnail.
But yeah, I actually really like this episode. My only fear is that there's just such an explosive second episode. I feel like it's really hard to like.
It's gonna backtrack.
Yeah, like where do you go from here?
I am curious to see where they go because this felt like the conclusion to a prologue. You know, like now he's gonna go out into the world because this guy's not following him, so he's gonna make his guild or whatever. And
Walter quit being a seeker. He said, "Nah, I'm too pussy for all this shit.
I'm too much of a bitch. I can't be doing this shit." I am curious because I see I saw the opening and he has like some really cool looking teammates and stuff. So I really hope that they're as interesting as he is as a character, and we get some good dynamics. I feel like this is definitely a show where they're gonna have a lot of interesting dialogue and dynamics with the characters.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm in. I'm locked into this one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is gonna be a favorite of mine.
Good choice, patrons. Good choice.
Oh, patrons picked this one?
Yep.
Base patron.
Mm-hmm. You've come a long way since the Shadowverse days. I'm so proud of you guys.
Never forgive, but never forget.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last but not least, we have Power of God, season 2, episode.
Yes, we got some Dorsey BAM trip that.
Mm-hmm. That's cute. The whole like, oh yeah, you should totally get better shoes that are more sensible, blah blah blah, and then cut to Pastor. You see her kick the other dude with her sneakers, and I'm just like, yeah. And then I love, and the moment he was able to like disarm her. He said, "Quickly, blow this bitch up."
Yeah. How many bombs you got? Use them
Do them all.
now.
Use them all. Oh my god, isn't that gonna kill her? No, she'll be fine. Trust me. Oh, that was funny. Um, as for the fights, I and that's what I was obviously what I was referring to earlier when I was talking about Mao. I'm like, bro, this anime needs a new animation studio like ASAP. Like, holy fuck,
Yeah, that
this
was
is
glaring.
painful. This
That
was
was
painful to
glaring this
watch.
episode.
Like, this was so much cooler in the manhwa. Like, Jesus. Like, I was so hyped because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember these fights and these are actually good matchups and yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, oh nope, actually, a bunch of uninspired fighting essentially. Um,
Yeah, it felt
however,
very like I felt like I was watching an anime from 2002, like a very basic anime from 2002.
yeah, I know what you mean. Um, the only saving grace is literally the fact that like even throughout bad animation aside, we're still the pieces are still getting sent into place. The chess pieces are still moving.
Mm.
Uh, Kun being a badass when he when he ambushes Quaitro and Chang
Mm-hmm.
and is like, "Give us your bullets and we'll shoot you, and I'll just shoot you both and send you to the ship." And then he's like, "Oh, or we could just fight." And then he's like, "Girl, do you want to lose another eye?" So that was that was pretty cool. I like that. Um, Also the very interesting interactions where Kun's no, Anok's team
Mm.
actually captures Minsang and Prince via the little octopus monster.
Yes.
So now that adds like another layer that's kind of you know like how are we gonna get through that? How's that gonna resolve itself? And yeah, I'm kind of just interested how they're gonna do all of that. So,
Yeah,
um,
I'm curious about the where we're going from here, especially with it ended on a real like cliffhangery moment with Mam showing up to a Nox fight and
mm-hmm.
everyone Mexican standoff, everyone pointing guns at each
and
other.
and then all you hear is bang bang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We shall.
Until then, I think we are done with the weekly reviews, which means we are done with this motherfucking episode. So Oni, please be dear, take us home.
Guys, if you enjoyed this week's episode of the Waifu Wars podcast, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you catch every episode as it goes up every week. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party on our Discord. All linked in the description down below. If you'd like, you can also become a member or patron and join us for our weekly live watches, where this season we are watching Dandadan and ReZero. So if that sounds interesting to you, you know what to do. Drew, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Um, we're recording this on Monday, so happy Indigenous Day! Fuck Christopher Columbus!
Yay! And on that note, this has been Soroni, and
Scooby Doo.
catch her later. Later!
Bye.